We've got some breaking news out of the NFL where Lamar Jackson has been ruled out for Saturday's game against the Browns. He's going to miss a second straight game with a sprained left ankle and PCL. With Tyler Huntley clearing the concussion protocol, he's now expected under center for the second straight week. Huntley threw for 88 yards, no touchdowns, and no picks in the Ravens' win over the Steelers. We now want to bring in CBS Sports fantasy football expert Dave Richard to break all of this down. We've got a lot to talk about, Dave.
Yeah, we do. Okay. It's that time of year.
All right, so Dave, if you have Lamar Jackson, is Tyler Huntley the guy, the right person to be starting?
Well, it really depends on who else is on the waiver wire. For example, I would much rather have Mike White with the Jets. I love the matchup for him against Detroit. He's somebody I would start over Huntley. I'm not a big Huntley fan.
Okay.
When we've seen him play it last year, when he started a bunch of games for the Ravens, he had one really good game, and he gets a lot of rushing yards, but he's really not that great of a passer, and that's a problem for the entire Ravens offense, and we actually saw that on display when he played last week. So I would go in a different direction than Huntley. He would be more of a desperation play. Mike White would be there. Ryan Tannehill would be there. Even Brock Purdy, who plays on Thursday against the Seahawks, I would start all ahead of Tyler Huntley.
Okay, and with this Lamar Jackson news, we got to talk about Mark Andrews. What does this mean for him?
And everybody is freaking out because Mark Andrews has been so bad lately. And so I can give you the good news and the bad news. Last week, 5 of the 12 throws that Tyler Huntley made went to Mark Andrews. That's good. That's a 40% target share. You start anybody that has a 40% target share. He caught one pass. And the reason why he didn't catch more was because all of the other passes were off target. So what good is the quarterback if the accuracy isn't there? That's an issue that's in play for Mark Andrews. He's really had a down year ever since he got hurt. You still start him because he's got that potential, but I think he's more of a back-end tight end one, not a top 5 tight end like he's been for the majority of his career.
Okay, when I talk about the run game, J.K. Dobbins, what does this mean for him and just the run game in general?
I mean, this run game surprised the heck out of me against the Steelers last week, and that Steelers defense, I thought it was good. It ended up being terrible, and the offensive line did a great job blocking, and you see the numbers for J.K. Dobbins. Jacqueline, I'm telling you, he didn't look great, but that offensive line did, and that's why fantasy managers can gravitate toward Dobbins in this matchup. Furthermore, I think the Ravens' game plan is simple. Number one, they want to run the ball, and when they can't do that, they're just going to try again because they don't want to put this in Tyler Huntley's hands. And so Dobbins should get a lot of opportunities, must start fantasy running back. I know it's only his second game since he got hurt, but he came back last week. He looked okay. I think he's a must, and I even think Gus Edwards could be good for around 6 fantasy points. That's PPR or non-PPR. He really doesn't catch the ball. This Browns defense lost 2 starting linebackers in consecutive weeks. That's going to sting them when this Ravens run game gets going.
So for the rest of the Ravens schedule, we know they got the Browns on Saturday, Falcons, Steelers, and then the Bengals. That's going to be a tough one
there. Division.
Yes.
The Falcons game is going to be the one that might be the most interesting. If Lamar Jackson's back, I think fantasy managers will take the calculated risk with him against that defense because it's not really that great of a defense. The Steelers will probably be in a position where they're going to want to shut down the Ravens again. If that's Lamar Jackson's first game, I don't know how effective he will be. And then a lot of fantasy managers don't play into Week 18, but even if they did, that Bengals matchup does not look good. I think what you're hoping for is that Lamar Jackson comes back against the Falcons. He looks good in that game, and that gives you the confidence to start him in what would be your fantasy championship against the Steelers.
Yes, that is Dave Richard joining us here on CBS Sports HQ. Also mentioning that everyone has been texting you, freaking out with all of this.
This is the time of year for that because it's fantasy playoffs. Nobody wants to lose. So I'm hearing from all kinds of people, and I'm not answering them. I'm just going to talk on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'll tell everybody what I'm doing on the podcast.
Exactly. Perfect plug.
I'm sorry. I'm not answering my phone. You're going to have to listen to the podcast to hear how I'm doing.
And you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or scan the QR code to get the insider knowledge from Dave.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.